This is A Podcast. Hello everyone, I'm your host, Franco Hiron. Welcome to the very first episode of A Podcast. Our topic for today will be all about climate action. For the information of everyone, it is one of 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by United Nations General Assembly in 2015. The official mission statement of this goal is to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. So, this will be an exciting and severe topic. So, for this episode, we will have extraordinary guests. Starting with Adrian de Catalina, Jay Collado, Samantha Jessim, and Sofia Canyola. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Today, they will be here with us, sharing their overview of the social problem of climate change and their personal experiences. To give you some background, climate change is not just an environmental issue, but also a whole raft of social problems, including displacement of communities, food security, water shortage, and health-related issues. The climate crisis is not a looming threat. People are now living with the consequences of centuries of greenhouse gas emissions. A failure to act urgently now will mean a reverse in development gains for the poorest and most vulnerable people in society. An erosion of biodiversity, increasing difficulties in providing food and shelter, and the potential loss of entire countries due to the impacts of climate change. Let us hear from Sofia Canyola some personal experiences and observations about the social issue and how it affects the community that she lives in.
Thank you for your warmest greeting, Mr. Franco. In today's world, the compounding effects of climate change can be felt outside our windows. Climate change is the most severe existential threat facing our planet, where droughts, storms, heat waves, rising sea levels, melting glaciers, and warming oceans are becoming more frequent and intense. As a result, if we do not reduce greenhouse gas emissions from using fossil fuels, we will see massive crop and fishery collapses, the extinction of hundreds of thousands of species, and the devastation of entire communities. While these outcomes may be avoidable in the future, climate change is already causing suffering and death. In the Philippines, as a citizen of Davao City in Mindanao, I can say that climate change significantly impacts communities.
Why?
To answer that, due to climate change, the urban heat index is already increasing above average, which causes some schools in the city to turn to blended classes for the safety of the students. For me, climate change usually occurs due to the effects of pollution, such as air pollution that is caused by vehicular emissions, plastic pollution, such as a result of unsustainable plastic consumption due to inefficient recycling system, and marine pollution due to tons of plastic waste every year, always ending up in the In contrast, you can say that there are more plastics than fish. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing those observations and personal experiences, Sophia. How about you, Samantha? Do you have some insights about how the issue relates to current events?
Well, for me, the issue is very relevant in today's world now that we are very technologically inclined, right?
Yes.
That we somewhat ignore the environment and the importance of climate and its impacts. Also includes flooding and drought, displacing millions of people, sinking them into poverty a few years from now. Millions of people will be at risk of displacement by lack alone. It is disrupting national economies and affecting lives, costing people, communities, and countries dearly today and even more tomorrow. There isn't any significant time to act, still, because every action could affect the future and the people. We wouldn't want our future children or family to suffer because of our wrongdoings and ignorance towards the earth and the climate. Am I right?
Yes.
We live and breathe because of the planet. So we must do our best to serve it well by conserving it.
Thank you so much for that, Samantha. So now, let us hear from Jay about the relevance and importance of UN SDG to their topic. Sorry.
The UN SDG are 17 goals adopted by United Nations in 2015 to promote sustainable development globally. This is where the relevance of UN SDG comes in regarding the efficiency of solar energy in Mindanao. Mindanao is one of the largest islands in the Philippines and also one of the most biodiverse. However, it also faced energy challenges for years, with many needing access to reliable electricity. The importance of solar energy implies that in fact are this clear, renewable source of energy that can help tackle these energy challenges. By increasing the efficiency of solar energy in Mindanao, we can help provide affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy to those who need it most, while also reducing carbon emission and protect the environment. We can achieve UN SDG 13 and work toward a more sustainable future by implementing sustainable energy solutions. This is why it's so important to prioritize solar energy and others, renewable energy sources in the fight against climate change.
Thank you so much for that, Jay. In addition, SDG 13, also known as Sustainable Development Goal 13, intends to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. It has 5 targets which are to be achieved by 2030. They cover a wide range of issues surrounding climate action. The first 3 targets are outcome targets. First one is to strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity to climate-related issues. Integrate climate change measures into policies and planning. Third one, build knowledge and ability to meet climate change. The remaining 2 targets are means of implementation. The fourth one is to implement the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and to promote mechanisms to raise capacity for planning and management. Along with each target, some indicators provide a method to review the overall progress of each target. The UNFCCC is the primary international intergovernmental forum for negotiating the global response to climate change. So, Sophia, can you share some insights about the current social problem?
Well, as climate change is greatly influencing our environment, it needs to be addressed by the government, societies, and most importantly, us individuals. And to help us fight this battle, urgent action is crucial, which is why SDG 13 climate action is needed. Climate change is now affecting every country on every continent. It's causing economic disruption and affecting people's lives, costing communities and governments today and even more tomorrow. Human-caused greenhouse gas emissions are driving climate change and continue to rise. And it is now at the highest level ever in history. But if we take action in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, will provide immediate benefits for health, our economy, and society by saving lives, reducing diseases, and increasing societal well-being. There is no time to lose, so we should take this seriously because it might increase migration, conflicts over natural resources, and political instability as severe consequences.
Thank you so much for that, Sophia. How about you, Samantha? Would you like to add some insights on what Sophia just discussed?
Thank you again, Franco. Well, for me, once again, I can say that as students, our actions are very much limited. But as I said the first time I shared, our generation is very much technologically inclined. Don't you agree?
Yes.
So using that advantage is a big step into our goal. It can be addressed online and reach millions of people who are important in the world. At this time, speaking up is essential right now. During this podcast, this opportunity is great to talk about issues of climate action like gas and single-use products, and these products causes diseases that can kill us. This type of plan can save humanity step by step, no matter how small. We must take every opportunity to protect our homes.
Thank you so much for that, Samantha. For Adrian, may I know your specific action on this social problem?
So we are raising a campaign for this social issue.
What it is?
It is now or never. Now or never is a common phrase that is heard throughout the world, but each one of them holds a different and unique meaning. In our case, now or never implies that people must act now, or they will suffer the consequences of their ignorance in the future. If we don't work now, we won't know how much time we have left in the present, because every second of the day, our climate deteriorates because of our responsibilities to take care of our planet.
Yes, I agree.
Our title serves as an urgent call to everyone of all generations to be more mindful of their actions starting now and speak up about our climate and its issues, because it is our responsibility and the cause of our actions and inability to care. The title connotes the urgent need for everyone, not just us, the millennials, to take care of our environment that serves as a home to countless lives. This advocacy aims to show everyone the significance of caring for our environment. The title is also meant to address the structural and cultural causes of the issue that we have mentioned before, like the emission of fossil fuels, carbon emission, lack of budget or support from people and the government, and also the ignorance of the citizens to see the problems arising in our climate. That's all.
I agree with you. That's a very wonderful campaign, Adrian. So now let me ask this gentleman on their opinions on how they would solve the social problem. Let's start with Jane and followed by Adrian.
I believe using solar energy is crucial to solving climate action. Solar energy is clean and renewable, meaning it produces no greenhouse gas emission and doesn't contribute to climate change. By harnessing the sun's power, we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and move towards a more sustainable energy future. There are many ways to use solar energy to tackle climate change. For an example, we can install solar panels on rooftop and open spaces to generate electricity. We can also use solar thermal system to heat water in homes. By doing this, we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Another important way to use solar energy to tackle climate change is through innovation. We need to continue developing new technologies that can help harness solar panel more efficiently and effectively. It includes battery storage system that can store excess solar energy during peak production time and use it during low production.
I do agree with you, Jay. Renewable energies are becoming more and more popular nowadays. So we might as well hop in the trend, right?
Yes.
Anyhow, I have been guilty of using single-use products in the past.
Same.
But that's in the past for a reason, right?
True.
Promoting reusable products not only helps reduce pollutants that Mother Earth is given, but it also declutters your personal spaces by eliminating unnecessary products around your home and having a clean, minimal, and neat room. Thus, using social media to our advantage could influence younger generations into a sustainable lifestyle, lessening plastic waste and in general, lessening the use of single-use products.
Thank you so much for that, Jay and Adrian. How about you, Sophia and Samantha? Would you like to add some personal solutions?
Well, for me, like as I mentioned before about technology, because our generation is very much reliant to gadgets like phones. Let's all face it. Like we really can't continue our day without having our phones with us, right? So why don't we use that advantage to reach more people? Because our generation is very much media literate, and our words in the media is very much powerful to other people. It may be small and limited, but it is very much a big step and ripple to other people, even from across the world.
Thank you so much, Samantha. And that concludes the first episode of A Podcast. Special thanks to our guests for their time and effort. Once again, this is A Podcast.